All right, so we have shaped our dough. We did the pre-shape, the initial first pre-shape. Now I've let it rest for about 30 minutes on the counter, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes after you pre-shape, allow it to sit on the counter. And so now we're gonna do our final shape. And just like I showed you in the class, you're gonna pick up your dough ball. You can either try it with your hands, but if you want to be safe, go ahead and use your dough scraper that I gave you, okay? And you're gonna slide it right under. Turn it over on its head, remember? And then we're gonna try to stretch it out a little bit. You don't want a little bit. We don't want to disturb the dough mass too much because we don't want to knock out any air bubbles that yeast has worked so hard to create with that carbon dioxide, okay? And then what I do is I just kind of take my dough, lift it up, kind of jiggle it a little bit. You see that? And it allows it to naturally stretch itself out a little bit without us bothering it too much or knocking out any good bubbles that we want to have in there. And so now I've done that. I lay it back down on its head. The head is the top. Remember when I say lay it on its head, that's the top of the dough. You always want to establish the top of the dough from the bottom of your dough. We're looking at the bottom right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that bottom flap, remember how I showed you in class, fold up, press down ever so gently, pull out that side, bring it in. Pull out this side, bring it in. You see that? And then roll forward. Look at that. Beautiful. Roll forward in a nice, gentle, but, tight way. And see, you done created that surface tension, and then we're gonna take the ends, we're gonna pinch them so we can keep all that air in there. You see that? Wow, that's beautiful. Now this is ready to go in the Banneton basket. I have an empty basket now, so I'm gonna put my bread in this basket. And then I'm gonna cover it with my plastic wrap that I gave you guys in class. And you can order these on Amazon too, or you can go to the beauty supply and get these too. They have them there. And once you do that final shaping of your dough, you can pick it up with your hands if you trust yourself. But if you want to be safe right now while you're learning, pick it up with your handy dandy dough scraper. And then when you put it in the basket, you're gonna put it over on its head so that the bottom of the dough is facing up. Okay? That's my bread timer going off. I'm baking some bread right now. Okay? So you want that bottom seam to be up. That's the bottom of your dough. So when you put it in the basket, you're putting the head of it into the basket facing down. Okay? And then you cover it with your plastic, and you can either let it proof on the counter for 1 to 2 hours and then bake it the same day, or if you're like, I don't feel like baking it, I don't want to bake it right now, you take this, you put it in your refrigerator and let it cold proof or cold retard. It's called a cold proof or a cold retard. And you let that sit in the refrigerator overnight and you can bake it the next day. Okay? All righty. Be blessed. Very gently. This is what the Lord has promised to do when He forgives their sins. The people of Israel are treated as God's enemies so that the good news can come to you. And roll upward, very gently but tight. See that? You gotta pinch your ends. Make sure all those nice bubbles and everything stays in there. See that? Now this is the top of your dough. This is gonna be face down in the basket. So when you pick it up, make sure your top of your dough, you put face down in the basket. There you go. And you cover it with some plastic. With your plastic shower cap. Ah. And I'll show you another one. This is the bottom of my dough. This is the top. Right now we're just allowing gravity to do the work for us so that we won't disturb the bubbles too much. Fold up, press down ever so gently. You're gonna pull out on this end, fold in, pull out on that side, fold in. And you're gonna roll up ever so gently, but tight. But not too tight, but just a gentle tightness. And then take the ends and you pinch them, just like that. And when you put it in the Banneton basket, remember, the top of the dough ball goes face down into the basket. Just like that. Perfect. And you cover it with your plastic.